Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Naurah Syadira. I'm the LSPR Communication and Business Institute Indonesian student under the supervision of Mr. Bonar Sirait as my mentor and lecturer. I'm here today to talk to you about climate change issue that is very important for the sustainable world. So, let's get started. People are calling it the crisis of our time, and it is.
Climate change
is on climate change.
Climate change is a big factor in that if we don't do something extremely quickly, we are going to see a point of no return.
Climate change is already here.
The biggest problem now facing the world is climate change.
But it's easy to get lost in this story. The science is dense and politics get in the way. World leaders are meeting in Madrid to talk about the climate crisis and how to slow it down. And they're under pressure from millions of people around the world calling for concrete action. The empty promises is the same, and the inaction is the same. So, what exactly are we doing wrong, and how do we fix it? We're going to kick this off with some basic science, so bear with me because this is important. Look at the graph. These are the level of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere over hundreds of thousands of years. But this spike in carbon dioxide at the very end, that took off during the Industrial Revolution. We start breaking CO2 records in 1950, and we haven't stopped since. Why? Well, science said that a 95% chance that human activity is the cause. We've been burning more and more fossil fuels like oils and coal, which release CO2 to power our homes, factory, aeroplanes, and cars. There's a lot of more of us. The global population has tripled in the past 70 years, and we're consuming more products from animals that release another pollutant called methane. So all those gas in the air, and when the sunlight gets into the Earth's atmosphere, some of the heat gets trapped, and the planet gets warmer. That's why they call it the greenhouse effect. But the concern is not the Earth is getting warmer, but the time is too quickly. The UN say that right now our world is about 1 degree hotter than a pre-industrial times. That's around the year 1800, which is okay. In fact, the UN says if we warm by 1.5 degree before the end of the century, we should be fine. The UN says even 2 degrees will probably be alright. But again, the problem is the speed, because right now we are on track to hit 1.5 degrees. It's only 10 years, and if we don't slow the warming down, it could be catastrophic within my lifetime and maybe yours too. And we already getting a taste.
Less able to maintain dependable weather and seasons, less able to absorb our impact. Biodiversity equals stability, and stability is what we need most of all. We open our eyes to this moment in history. Think on a planetary scale. Embrace the challenge we face, and do something we humans are very good at. Change the world.
Levels are rising about 3 millimeters a year because seawater expands as temperatures get warmer. Melting ice sheets and glaciers also add trillions of tons of fresh water into our ocean. People around the world are already losing their homes. And if these things carry on, more of us will have to pack up too. Entire coastal cities could be underwater within 80 years. Like Miami in the US or Osaka in Japan, entire isolation in the Pacific could completely disappear. Now, there is a plan to slow all this down. back in 2016, world leaders signed the so-called Paris Agreement, and the big pledge is to cap temperature rising by 1.5 degree or a maximum of 2 before the year 2100. So countries set their own target on how much CO2 they emit. But there's the thing, 3 years after the agreement, global CO2 levels are still going up. The US, one of the world's biggest polluter, has pulled out of the Paris deal. Russia and China are accused of not giving themselves ambitious target in the first place. Turkey, Poland want to build more plants and use coal. On the other hand, there is a positive momentum. There is more awareness and some countries are making progress. India, Morocco, and Gambia have massive renewable energy projects. There are different countries are doing different things really successful. Some countries are. For example, making all public transport free in the cities. And what a great way to encourage people out their cars. But experts says what need now is an even bigger pusher to change everything about the way we run our world. Business as usual has to go change. Politics as usual has got to change in order to combat that. We have to change the system that has allowed it to happen. You can't have infinite growth in a finite planet, and everyone can do that by shifting the renewable energy, reducing the use of cars, use trains more, cycle more, eat less meat, consume a bit more carefully. So where does that leave us? Well, there's only so much bike riding and light bulb refreshing you and I can do every day. But the truth is, it's those everyday things are going to change anyway. Even coffee could run out in farmers and can't grow up. The expert advice is that it's down to all of us to change our ways and shaking things up, or climate change is going to do it for us. As we bring our climate change issue as a part of important sustainable world issues, I would like to thank you for your attention, and I hope that this sharing session gives all of you a clear understanding of climate change issue. If you need further and detailed information regarding the issue, kindly text and comment down below, and have a great sustainable world. Thank you.